The ghosts of October past were felt last week as the major markets sold off deep into the red. The S&P 500 closed lower by 4.1%, outpaced by the Dow Jones average, which had a loss of 4.2%. The daily losses continued from the previous week as Monday and Tuesday closed slightly lower. However, the selling picked up on Wednesday and Thursday. Friday opened slightly higher before retesting Thursday's close and then closing higher on the session to break the 6-day losing streak. Last week's volatility rivaled that from February's drop. As of Friday's close, the S&P 500 sits at the same level as it was back on January 11th. Small caps, which had experienced the double-digit run-up earlier, quickly gave back a significant amount of their gains last week. The value side of the style box is now negative year-to-date in the S&P indices. Foreign markets followed suit as the all-cap world index fell 3.87%, taking the index into negative territory for the year. Europe continues to have a difficult year as the MSCI Europe Index fell over 4% last week. The region settled Friday with double-digit year-to-date losses. This week, the Eurozone will be waiting for the results of Italy's budget submission. Italy has struggled with the European Commission as they are expected to seek approval from the EU to further increase public spending amid higher borrowing costs. Meanwhile, the bond market was one of the few areas that was able to see some sort of reprieve last week. 10-year Treasury rates retested the recent highs before closing lower on Friday. The Bloomberg Barclays U.S. Aggregate Index closed just under 0.5% higher for the week, slightly trimming back some of the year-to-date losses. Overseas, China's central bank announced plans to cut reserve requirements in an effort to increase investor confidence. However, the news did little to stem the selling as concerns about the impact of U.S. tariffs and economic data continue to point to slowing economic growth. On an optimistic note, the Chinese President Xi and U.S. President Trump have reportedly agreed to meet during the upcoming G20 summit to see if a resolution can be made to the ongoing trade war with China.